All right, Shalom. Giving our praises, our glory, our honors unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest, is I one from GMS Atlanta. Back with another edifying video. And I just put this into the search in the Google about the list of countries introducing digital ID and digital wallet. So, we're coming down to the time period where the mark of the beast, the Motb, is going to be soon mandated around the world. But before that requirement, before that mandate takes place, there has to be an infrastructure set up that these different countries will use around the world, these different governments, to make the mark operable. A digital infrastructure. And I speak on this all the time. I speak on the digital IDs. I speak on the digital wallets, the RFID, NFC implants, the Neuralink, because that's the next major prophecy that we're looking for to come to pass before the destruction and the deliverance. So I just wanted to see, what was the different places around the world that have this technology being set up. Okay? Because if you don't know, the mark of the beast, the prophecy, it would be a worldwide, global, planet Earth prophecy, meaning all the major countries around the world are going to introduce an implant, okay? And I don't know if they told you, you Israelites out there, but the Motb, the mark of the beast, is without a shadow of a doubt. If you're not teaching this, you're just wrong. But the Motb is the biometric digital implant, which will be injected under the skin, whether you get an implant in your brain or whether you get it in your hand, right hand or left hand. It's the implant. GMS has it right, and the other groups that teach, just like GMS, they have the 100% truth. They have it right. These other groups outside of GMS, the Great Millstone, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who the world calls God and Jesus, is not dealing with them. They don't have the Holy Spirit. Now you do have other groups that teach that the mark is the implant, but they're not teaching the 100% truth. The Holy Spirit's not dealing with them either. See, we're coming in a time to where it's going to be known who the true prophets of the Most High are. And just as Yahweh Shai said who he was, we're also saying who we are, because it's being established. It's just the spirit right now. Now, do we hope that we individually are of the elect? Of course. Do we know for sure? No. But that doesn't mean that the truth does not rest with GMS. So these prophecies are coming around quick. They're coming to pass quick. Things are speeding up now. So this is the latest news. So it says several countries are actively implementing digital ID systems and digital wallets, often integrating the two often integrating the two for a more seamless user experience. Examples include Singapore with SingPass, India with Aadhaar, and the UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates, with UAE Pass. The European Union is also rolling out a digital identity wallet for citizens and residents. This digital identity wallet system is leading up to the Motb microchip implant. Before they can give everyone the implant, they have to have a system set up that can interoperate around the world within the different countries and the different regions and governments. Because the total plan of Esau, or his world domination plan, is for him to have control of all the citizens around the planet. And his means by doing that is implanting technology, implanting a device into the bodies of the citizens around the world. I mean, it's a classic superhero comic book supervillain world domination plan, you know? I mean, the supervillain is not going to say, hey, look, I'm a bad guy. I'm trying to take over the world. No, of course not. They never do. But they'll tell you their plans and their movies, their cartoons, their shows, their music, their entertainment, their politics, and their secret codes. They'll put it in books. They'll put it on different videos and platforms. But the mass majority of the people are blinded to what they're doing. And this truth, this gospel that we're preaching, because we do have the true gospel, and we went over that at camp this week here in Atlanta. We do have the true gospel. It's only for the elect. If you're not of the chosen elect, if you haven't been chosen from the foundation of the universe, then you're not going to be able to see the full truth. You'll see some things, you have an understanding on a small fraction of things, but you're not going to be able to see the full picture. Even for Israelites, all Israel is not going to make it on this go-round of the salvation. Only the elect coming out of Babylon the Great will be delivered. The rest of the Israelites in Babylon the Great, the 2/3, are going to be destroyed. So you have all these different countries that are introducing digital ID systems, something that's never been done on the planet Earth before. At one time, we are now seeing that emerge. This is how we know that we're in an unprecedented time in history, which has had to have been spoken about and written about in Bible prophecy even thousands of years ago. And we understand that now. Matter of fact, let's read that prophecy. And I'm just going to read it through because we read this all the time. But this has never been done before, where you have a global effort to introduce pretty much a new economic system. This is Revelation chapter 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. That's the digital system that we're seeing, the digital ID wallet system. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this is what we're seeing emerge right now. This digital ID wallet system, that's the image of the beast. Okay? And the beast is the revival of the Roman Empire. But now the Roman Empire is going digital. That's a title right there for a video. The Roman Empire is going digital. And we're seeing it. Just as the Roman Empire in the ancient world had control of the world and all the different nations were following its influence, that is what we see today. All the different nations around the world are following the influence of America and Europe. Whether they're following Europe, okay? The so-called white man's world, which is the world of Edom. Okay, the Edomites are in control of the planet Earth. The wicked, pursuant to Job 9:24. And a part of their wicked plan is to introduce a digital ID system that will gather all nations into a digital prison. They'll know what you eat, they'll know what you think, they'll know where you're going, they'll tell you how much water you can drink, they'll tell you how much food you can eat, they'll tell you what job you have, if you have a job, they'll tell you where to live. Everything about your life will be controlled by this digital ID system, and it will be monitored by AI. While the real resources of the earth will be free to be used up by the elites of Edom. That's what we see happening now. So it says here's a more detailed look. Countries with established or emerging digital ID systems. So it says Singapore, India, United Arab Emirates, Australia, the United Kingdom. All right, Australia, MyGov is the government's digital identity system. United Kingdom, gov.uk, one login is the UK's digital identity system. And Post Office Easy ID is a digital app for proving age and identity. See, everything prior to this time, the 2020s, we've all had cards, paperwork. You had to go down to your local office and get your birth certificate and get different documents proving your identity. You had to go down to a bank and open up a bank account, or you could do it online. Or then it started to evolve the cards, and then now they got chips in the cards. So it's slowly been a rollout, what's called gradualism, of this digital identity system. But because you can lose a card, you can lose whether it's a bank card or ID card, you can lose paperwork. They'll say, don't worry, we're going to come up with a digital ID system for everyone in the country, and you can have your identification there. Now, with that being said, as of right now, 2025, you can still use your paperwork, documentation, but what they're doing is they're setting it up. Okay, now the image of the beast is starting to speak. Okay, it's starting to emerge, and they're going to, and just like cash, because everyone's going to go cashless, they're also going to phase out paper documents and plastic cards as far as identification as well. And then they're going to phase out debit cards and credit cards and paper dollars as well. Okay. Estonia, known for its advanced e-governance. Canada is developing its own digital ID system. Sweden, Bank ID, a bank-issued e-ID, and I just spoke on this recently, is widely accepted for identification by government authorities. And they're also in Sweden, they're also using the implants as well. Okay, the NFC implants are also being used by thousands of people in Sweden. So that's going to be one of the major test places in the B system to introduce the Motb and make it mandatory. Okay, it says Germany has a government-issued electronic ID card, but it's going to go beyond cards. It's going to go beyond cards. Okay? Now check this out. It says digital wallets integrating with digital ID. Several countries are linking digital IDs with payment systems. And see, this is the driving component behind the prophecy of the MOTB, buying and selling. Because, like it says, if you don't have the MOTB, then you won't be able to buy and sell. So you're going to have that mark. That implant is going to have your digital ID number, your digital ID documents, everything, all your information, your data will all be on that mark, and it's going to be linked to your bank account. It says several countries are linking digital IDs with payment systems. For example, China is integrating digital ID into Alipay, and Singapore is extending SingPass to financial services, according to biometric update, because everything is biometrics now. They're about to shift everything over to biometrics. It says in the U.S., Babylon the Great, several states are enabling digital driver's licenses in mobile wallets like Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, and Samsung Wallet. So all the countries around the world are setting these systems up. Even countries you never even heard of are introducing digital ID because it's a part of the plan of the elites, because they're about to change the global economic landscape. EU Digital Wallet, EU Digital Identity Wallet. The European Commission is leading the development of the EU Digital Identity Wallet, which will allow citizens and businesses to securely identify themselves across the EU. So identity is the key to what the elites want to do. They want to know everything about you, everything about your baby, everything about you, your past, your present, and they're going to determine your future. And if you want to buy and sell, pursuant to Revelation, the 13th chapter, you're going to have the mark, which is implanted under the skin. Beyond encryption, 8 countries with the most innovative digital ID systems. Let's see. Which countries are using digital ID? Several countries have implemented or in the process of implementing digital ID systems. Some proponent examples include Estonia, India, Singapore, and Sweden. These systems vary in their approach, with some offering national digital IDs, while others rely on private or federated systems. Does Europe have a digital ID? The European Digital Identity Framework seeks to give citizens and businesses a trusted and secure means of digital identification that works across all member states via the means of EU digital identity wallets. This is as of February 18, 2025. So hey, it's here. It's digital ID coming to America. As of 2025, these states support digital driver's licenses, though physical copies may still be required in certain situations. Arizona, Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, Samsung Wallet. California DMV Wallet, Apple Wallet, Google Wallet. These U.S. states now accept digital driver's license. That's the next step. It's digital ID all around the world, and then they're going to push it to you having to get the implants. Okay? Let's see here. This is Regular. I was reading through this. Regular Forensics, June 18, 2025. Worldwide Digital ID Overview, the current state by country. In the identity verification industry, digital ID is a buzzword that means different things to different people. For some, it's a secure login across government platforms. For others, it's a digital version of an ID card stored on a smartwatch. Oh yeah, the wearables. The wearables, right? What was that? Now, I looked this up. This is the New York Post. I just wanted to look this up. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. wants all Americans to use wearable technology to track their health as part of his MAHA agenda, which is Make America Healthy Again. Right? New York Post. RFK Jr. wants every American to use wearable health data collecting technology. This is a wearable. You got these smart watches out here. But the next step that they want to do is they really want to put the wearable technology in you. Okay? So they're telling you that they want you to track your health. It says the Kennedy clan strongman revealed his agency's plan Tuesday for a massive push for Americans who have an obesity rate of 40% to use wearable data collecting technology such as Fitbits, Oura Rings, and Apple Watches to promote healthier lifestyles. So that's just the selling point. And what they really want to do is they just want to track your information. But that's going to lead up to you getting the implant. They get enough people using wearables, used to having their data monitored and tracked. Then they have a marketing plan to where they can say, okay, well, now you need this thing. Now you need this in your skin. Don't worry, it's going to do the same thing that your smartwatch would do. It'll help link to your smartphone. It'll link to all your information. It'll do more than what the wearable watch would do. It'll do more than what a ring can do. These are all the steps leading up to the Motb, along with digital ID. Now, this also came out here. U.S. Air Force eyes wearable biometrics for in-flight safety monitoring. So they're pushing it in the military as well. I'll just read this here. It says the U.S. Air Force is pursuing a cutting-edge initiative to monitor aircrew biometrics and cabin altitude in real time during flight. Everything is biometrics. Everything is data collection. It says with the goal of enhancing flight safety and improving physiological situational awareness for pilots. The effort currently underway at the 428th Fighter Squadron at Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho represents the latest in a growing trend of biometric integration into military aviation. So they want to integrate biometrics into the military. And you know what else is a part of biometrics? Putting a microchip under your skin. That's biometrics. Okay? Now, I wanted to read some of this here back in this article. I just wanted to bring those headlines out because this is something that is not just being done, it's being reported on, and they're about to market it in a major way. So back here it says, but one thing is clear, digital IDs are the next stage in the evolution of identity documents. We can influence this shift only to a certain extent, but we definitely can't stop it. Yeah, you can't stop it because it's leading up to the mark of the beast. It's Bible prophecy. The only thing that we're waiting on is for it to manifest. We're just being patient. All right? Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter says, though it tarry, wait for it. It shall surely come. And this article will break down what digital IDs really mean and review their current status across different countries. And so you can read into some of this because it's a lot of information. So I'm not going to get into all of it. It's
90.
Worldwide Digital ID Overview, the current state by country. This is from regularforensics.com. Okay. So like I said, these things are being set up to happen, right? And like I said, gradualism. Gradualism is when you progress toward a particular goal slowly and surely. You know, it may not happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a progress. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So the prophecy of the mark of the beast, it will be fulfilled soon. We just got to wait for it. We just got to be patient. See, the one thing about prophecy is all about time. And it's on the Lord's time. It's not on our time. It's not on the time. Even though the scripture says that we will desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man. That's what happened when you had the groups that came out of One West were looking for the end of the world to come, or the end of America, right? The destruction to come before the year 2000. Hell, even people back then were looking for the year 2000 to be the end. But it didn't come. Now, does that mean that the Messiah isn't, going to return? No. But unless you really understand all the scriptures, ate the whole roll, and you know the prophecies, then you're not going to get it. But the prophecies letting you know, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. That's why you wait. It will surely come. It will not tarry. Why? But for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And what's speaking right now? Right? Well, I'll go back. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. We're seeing the beast begin to bring the prophecy of the mark of the beast to pass. That the image of the beast should both speak. But this prophecy is going to come to pass. So pursuant to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, we just got to wait for it. It says, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on that mark to be implemented, to be required, to be mandated. So now what I did here, I went to ChatGPT and I just typed in list of countries with digital ID and digital wallets. It says, here's a refined chart highlighting key countries with national digital ID systems and digital wallets that integrate ID, documents, and in some cases, payment. So what you have here is Estonia, and some of these countries are already named before. So you got Estonia. Sweden, they have the bank ID. Estonia has the ID card. The features, they have banking, they have e-banking. Denmark, Netherlands. Denmark has access to banking, so buying and selling. The Netherlands, government service and business identity. Italy, they have the IT wallet, launched in 2024. What is this, 4 million users? February 2025. Health and disability cards. Poland, France, the UK, Scotland. And they have a driver's license app, which is on the smartphone. And you can use a smartphone to buy and sell. Singapore, I mentioned a couple of times already. The Ukraine. You can register your marriage on their digital ID. So you get married, you just in the future you can just use your digital ID, and your registration would be your marriage registration will be attached to that digital ID, and that's just in the Ukraine. So how hard is it for these other countries and these other apps and digital platforms set up by these governments? How hard would it be for them to do that? It would be easy. Okay, Vietnam, United Arab Emirates, we mentioned that. South Korea, National Digital Document Wallet launched 2025. South Korea, which is a major ally of the U.S. Full digital replacement of physical ID. So you don't even need your plastic card for ID over there. Spain, Papua New Guinea, they have a government services portal. They have a wallet, and I've gone over a bunch of these countries before. Tunisia has an e-wallet for payments, transfers. So all they need to do is just put the implant under your skin, and you're good to go. I mean, you're bad to go, but this is what they want to do. It says, additionally, the European Digital Identity Wallet Initiative, in force since May 2024, enables all EU member states to roll out interoperable eID wallets by the end of 2026. So they got goals. So by next year, they're going to be using digital ID wallets all around the EU. Highlights and trends, Europe, Asia, emerging pilots, Ukraine's DIA is particularly notable for having full digital passport equivalent since August 2021 and wide service integration. Yeah, so basically these government services around the world in these different countries, you're going to need to have access to your digital wallet, your digital ID in order to use them. And eventually, if you don't have the Motb implant, then you're going to lose your access, EU-wide alignment through the European Digital Identity Wallet. The framework will standardize access across member states by 2026. Summary. Most developed countries now offer mobile-based digital IDs combined with digital wallets that store official documents, e-signatures, sometimes payment tokens. Adoption rates typically exceed 80 to 90% of population in front-runner nations. The EU's push toward interoperability by 2026 is expected to further boost coverage. So all they have to do is say, listen, now we know that y'all been using the digital IDs on your smartphones. Now you're going to have to get this implant in your body. Listen, it'll help you from the next pandemic. It'll give you easier access to the world around you, your job, your car, everything. It'll be a one-stop shop for all your information, your data. You won't need to come down and file for a new application on your license anymore. Everything will be in your chip. And if they're already getting 80 to 90% just on the digital IDs right now, based on the mobile or the smartphone, then it'll be easier, if not easier, to get people to want to get the chip, the implant, which that's the Motb. Once the implant is mandated, then That's the MOTB. But just having it on your phone or wearables, okay, that's not the mark, but it's a lead up to the mark. Okay? It's leading up to the mark. So I just wanted to, do a search and get some information. I put it into the chat GPT. I looked it up here on the Google. And yeah, so these prophecies, man, are coming to pass. Okay? Let's get Revelation, the 3rd chapter, and I'll close out. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. The hour of temptation is speaking about when you're going to be pierced with the Motb, the implant. Okay? A lot of people were saying that when they introduced the C19 juice, and everybody had to, to get that needle back in 2021, 2022, they got billions of people to take it. Hundreds of millions of people took it. But people were saying that was the MOTB, and they wanted to put the chip in that, and it didn't come to pass because the prophecy says that you're going to have to make a choice. But that was the test runner. Them giving out that shot, that was the test runner before eventually giving out the implant. Okay, because they didn't even have the implant, and the implant and the brain wasn't even being put into humans yet. Now they're doing it since 2024 with Neuralink, and we're seeing that come to pass now, even this year. Okay, a matter of fact, I just put the video up. They just put another Neuralink in a patient down in Florida, down in Miami. So it's definitely talking about the MOTB is definitely the chip implant technology. So once that's introduced, and that's when this prophecy will come to pass. It's going to be a temptation all around the world for people to take it. And if you're over here in America and you take it, then you're going to be destroyed by those nuclear missiles. All right, verse 11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So hold on to this truth. Hold on to the 100% truth. Continue to watch and follow the men set up by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, the apostles, the elder bishops, the rest of the elders and us brothers here at Great Millstone. Pray and hope that you're of the elect. Endure unto the end. Be diligent to make thy calling and election sure. Continue to have faith. I hope this lesson was edifying. All praises goes to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kodash. Shalom.